Pray the gay away. I mean, it's not really funny because a lot of people believe that. For me, that wasn't the case. But Pray the Gay Away is also the title of the Zakar Twins book, Michael and Zach. It's a great book. I can't get over how good of a book this is. And I also got it autographed by them, which is really neat. It says, "For one artist to another, you have the amazing gift. Show the world. Thanks for the support and for being an official roommate. Double love." I think Michael was the one who wrote it. Who knows? But anyway, this is a really good book. It's a book about their coming out story and just how their experiences. It's very funny, very quirky. Like, I laughed out loud a couple of times. And a great read. I was surprised by how entertained I was with it. I read it in 3 sittings, but I would have read it in 1 had I not need to sleep or to work. But if you don't know who the Zakar Twins are, look them up. I found them on Instagram. I'll leave their Instagram down here. And also they have a YouTube channel, and I'm now currently subscribed to the YouTube channel. But their Instagram, I found out that they had a book, so I DM'd them and they sent me my copy. You can also buy this book at Amazon. It is $11.99. It's a great read. It's a must, especially if you are still not completely comfortable with who you are and you haven't come to terms with it and you need to feel identified in literature or hear somebody else's story. This is a great book to read. And there was a lot of times in the book where I felt identified by what they wrote. And in the book, Michael and Zach are telling different parts of their lives, and it alternates between Michael and Zach. At the beginning, I would have to go back and see, was this Michael or was this Zach? The persons are very different, and you end up picking up on that. But one of the lines that in the book that I identified with was, "Hate and anger fill my body with the burning sensation of outrage. This was wrong, I slur." And when you first start experimenting, I think that's how you feel every time afterwards. So I could definitely identify with those words. You end up hating yourself, and for no reason. It's just the way we were conditioned to think. Also, like, what I really enjoy about this book are the references to art. And there's a reference by Henry Fuseli, which is The Nightmare. This is right here. And the stories are very entertaining. I don't want to tell you much about it because I think you should read it. I can't say enough how much I like this book. I really enjoyed it. You know, I read Ricky Martin's autobiography thinking that I would get some insight into how his life was and his coming out story and the difficulties he had. But after reading his autobiography, I thought to myself, I could have gotten all this information from an E, Behind the Music, no, I think that's VH1, E, True Hollywood Story. It's very basic, very generic, and this feels very real, very authentic. It's relatable, and this trumps Ricky Martin's autobiography book, by the way. And then another part in the book that completely won me over was when, and I will read this paragraph. "Per usual, no one seems interested in either Michael's nor my impersonations. Michael is Claude Monet, the famous French painter. He wanted to be Frida Kahlo because he loves her unibrow, and since he basically has one of his own, it seemed fitting, but Mom said it was too girly. This coming from a woman whose culture has men basically wearing maxi dresses." And if you don't know by now, I'm completely obsessed with Michael. Well, I mean with Frida, but maybe with Michael too. But anyway, I'm a huge fan of Frida Kahlo. Actually, when I was young too, I took part of the Wax Museum Day thing, what they are talking about in this book, and I was Martin Luther King Jr. And nobody could figure out who it was either, but I thought I did a great job. There's a lot of stories in here that I can relate. A lot of them take place in bathrooms. And but anyway, their mom is very intense. Super intense. Like most moms who have a lot of faith in their religion, because this is completely against it, so they're intense. And I just want to read a part of this book. They have just broken up with Zach. So Zach just tells his mom that, you know, he's going through a breakup. So I'm going to read to you after that. "Mom wraps her arms around me and I feel her tight love embrace. This is the best gift you could have given me for your birthday. Now you can pretend to be straight and marry a woman," she suggests. The look of her face is 100% serious. I am my usual 100% in disbelief about the words that came out of her mouth. You want me to go through life pretending to be happily married to someone I don't love or desire? Yes, she bluntly admits. You want me to ruin someone else's life to please you? Yes, I want you to be normal. And I feel like all the things we do is to please our parents and to make them happy, but ultimately you need to realize this is your life and the only one you get, so you live it your way as long as you're not hurting others, but stay true to yourself and be who you are. So the front of the book is them in bed with a nun, and then at the end of the book that kind of connects and it ends very beautifully. I can't say enough how much I think you should read this book. If you need to identify with something, to someone's story, and you don't know anybody you could talk to, definitely read this book. Also on the back of the page, which I think is very important, there are numbers that you can call to talk, or if you feel unsupported or going through a hard time, or you just don't know who to tell, or things like that, or you are having thoughts that are not your own. The Trevor Project is a 24-hour toll-free suicide prevention line aimed at lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and questioning youth. And the number is 1-866-4U-TREVOR. They also have a website that you can go to with a lot of great information. And on that website, 1 out of every 6 students, 9 through 12, attempt to commit suicide. And I think those numbers are staggering. It's something that shouldn't be. You should always talk to someone first if that's how you're feeling. I think we've all had those thoughts in our head, but the best thing to do is not to entertain them and get help. And help is out there. Talk to somebody. And also the LGBT National Hotline serving callers of all ages for counseling, information, and local resources. And that number is 1-888-843-4564. And the Trans Lifeline, that was 1-877-565-8860. You can also talk to the Zakar Twins by downloading their app called My Twin Chat app. So there is help out there, that you're not alone, and you're not the only one out there who's going through what you're going through. What you're feeling is completely normal. It's completely normal. Don't let other people tell you otherwise. So once again, Pray the Gay Away by the Zakar Twins is a great book. You must read it. You'll read it in no time. It's an easy read. It's very humorous, very clever. They are very witty, and they have some very interesting stories. So I'm not going to spoil anything, but it's a very good book. And also, like I've said, I think it's very important that you can identify yourself in literature. So another good read is Boy Meets Boy, a great story, or Boy Meets a Boy. But anyway, this book is by David. I don't know how to say his name, but I'll leave it right here. But anyway, a great book. Also, I think it's important for children to start understanding this concept so they don't grow up hating people who are different. And you shouldn't hate things that you don't understand. You should try to understand them and give some knowledge and try to get some knowledge on it. So there's also children's books regarding the issue, like Daddy's Roommate by Michael. Once again, I don't know his last name, how to pronounce it, but I'll leave it down there. And then King and King. This is a super cute book. It's about a king who is trying to fight his princess, but instead of a princess, he finds himself a prince. It's a very cute book. Also, I can't pronounce the names. I'm horrible at this. But anyway, and another book that I was recommended that I haven't read, which is Lorca and Dali, their hidden life story. There's so much rumored about the romance that did or did not happen. So it's the letters that they sent to each other, which I need to read. And then I was also recommended City of Night, which is a very old book as well, but I'm going to read them and I'll tell you what they're about. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you're reading, because it's still important to read, and I do recommend to read the book Pray the Gay Away. Tell me what you think if you read it. If you haven't, go pick it up on Amazon, order it, or DM the Zakar Twins, and they will send you a copy, signed by the both of them. And like I said, there's help. You're not alone. There's people willing to listen to you and to help you. Thank you so much for watching. Please watch all the other content in my channel, and follow me on Instagram. And if you have any questions or stories, leave them below. Adios, bye, and please be safe and love yourself above all.